During the research and planning stages, I used media technologies in many different ways. The first thing I decided to do was create a blog. This way I could become a prosumer and many people could see all my progress of what I was doing for the project so far. Then I started to go through YouTube for style models. This was a really efficient way because it meant my documentary could be more realistic based on something else, and I have used styles from these documentaries throughout. I then used websites such as Prezi and SlideShare to present the information. I found this a really effective way because it meant that people would be able to look at it more efficiently and it would be more clear when they started reading through it. I also use media technologies in construction stages. For example, I used the video camera and the tripod. I hadn't used these video cameras before, so obviously it took us a while to get used to it, but once I had, I think I used the framing really well and I got a lot of effective shots that I used in the documentary. I also used a tripod. This is because I didn't feel my handheld was strong enough, and so it kept all my shots still, and it just really did keep it all to a good standard. One thing that I noticed during my research and planning is that a lot of documentaries use voiceovers. Because of this, is something that I decided that I was going to do for mine. And to achieve this, I used a voice recorder in which I've scripted all everything that I want to say and just put it on top of the clips that I already had. This way it did make it my project a lot better than it was and added more information to the documentary than it already had. I also used YouTube for my project. This because I could use little clips to break up my interview so it didn't come one big interview throughout the whole thing. It kept the interest up in my interviews, and I hope many more people can relate to it. The main program that I used during the construction of my project was iMovie. Through this program I could edit my documentary together really well, and so the interviews flow into one another. I also managed to use headings for each of my participants in there, and I could also put title pages, which I think was really good so that the audience obviously knows what they're watching. However, I did have some sound issues. I really did struggle to kind of edit it together because of the sound. Although this is pretty much the only issue that I had with the program, and other than that it was really effective and the interviews came together really well. The first thing I used in my ancillary tasks is a stills camera. This way I could take all the pictures that I needed of my model and then obviously uploaded the images to a computer. I also used a tripod, this way that I could get all the angles that I needed and that it looked really professional. I also used Photoshop. Although I had used this in my last project, my skills were much more advanced this time. This is because I used tools that I hadn't used last time, such as a cutting out tool to keep all the curly hair of my model this time, which is something that I hadn't done last year and it was a lot more complicated. To save the viewers of my blog just from reading through those paragraphs, I've used media technologies in my evaluation. One clear example of this is using the camera to present this information. This way that they can actually listen to, and it just takes less effort for them to know what the project's all about. I've also used Prezi, which is a really fun interactive way for presenting my information. I think it's important to use these technologies throughout the project because it's helped me kind of really get to grips with what I was doing, and it's really helped me with my project and making it look the way it is.